Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. You know what? Let's talk about Ben for a minute. And listen. I haven't been watching this show this long, but this guy is coming across hella deranged. Now I get that that's his wife. They share it. They share the life together. He loves her with every fiber in his body. He could not imagine waking up in a world without her. Okay? Trust me, I get it. Okay? But with that being said, this guy is going to just hell of extremes. Okay? He is at the hospital once again to go see Ciara, even though Ciara said, I don't know, what, like 1,000 something times that she wants no parts of it. That, well, he creeps her out. That should not make you feel good. But for whatever odd reason, he's just kind of hanging out in the hallways, going to go see Ciara. And Theo, let's be honest, the snake that he is, well, he was like, yo, you need to chill out. You know, the life y'all had, that's what y'all had. Like, she doesn't remember you. She doesn't want to remember you. She wants no parts of you. And, like, you need to stop and just kind of take a beat. And granted, it was hard for me to sit there and hear that because given what this guy is pretty much doing or just the way he's acting, pretty much what he's doing and the way he's acting about it, it was kind of difficult to listen. But with that being said, well, he had valid points, which Ben was hearing none of it. And of course, Theo's like, we're leaving today, and Ben is like, listen, I'm just begging you, like, just, give me a couple of days, I won't be near her or anything like that. Just give me some time. Give me a couple of days. I'm like, a couple of days isn't going to change anything. A couple of days isn't going to change anything. And, you stay, like, how does that work? You're going to stay away, but you want them to, I don't know what the hell is going on at this point. But, and I don't know, because I've heard from somebody that said that maybe the actress may be leaving again, so I don't know if this is the case, but if that's so, then this is a whole different mess, and I feel like that's another video, a separate video that I may one day have to make in case things go south for this show. But, with that being said, Theo's like, yo, listen, I'm not promising you anything, and she's, like, it is what it is, we're leaving, and that's pretty much the end of it. And he walks away. Now Ben comes to Claire's place, and Ben is sitting there telling Claire, hey, listen, they're leaving today, like, this is tragic or whatever, and Claire's like, oh, wow, and then Ben is like, listen, I'm so not trying to be super negative about this, but just try to remember that this is the material that they're giving me, and this is the way that I interpret it, because that's just what makes sense to me. Ben is like, I'm going to kidnap Ciara, I'm going to take her back to the cabin. Now, Claire and me, and hopefully most of the people that are not just watching this review, they're just watching this soap opera in general, is like, Ben, you lost your damn mind at this point. Okay? You're going to kidnap Ciara, take her back to the cabin, and just hope that she remembers? Because she didn't want to go through with the hypnosis, and she stopped it halfway through. If she probably would have continued it, then she would have remembered, but she didn't. So you think just going back to the cabin is going to do what exactly? And how even Claire was like, yo, the last time we went to, talk about the cabin, she was remembering when I tried to burn her alive. But Ben, in his head, is like, it's going to be different. He's like, you're going to help me, right? I thought you were my friend. Bro, she is your friend. Okay? She is probably one of two people that, well, I guess Marlene is three. Three people in this town that actually care about you. Okay? So don't really sit there and question her loyalty. Okay? If anything, she should be sitting there questioning your sanity, but whatever. He's like, well, I'm going to just sit there and do it by myself. Because he wanted he wanted Claire to distract Theo so that way he can have time to kidnap Ciara. Like, bro, I mean, this is a soap opera, so you do your thing. Just remember there are, consequences even in Salem. But you go at it, bro. Let's just all enjoy this together. Just how bad this is gonna go. So yeah, he heads back to the hospital. This is when this is when Sierra and Theo are walking out. And they're just like, what is going on now? Sierra has a look of terror on her face. Ben has a look of, well, psychotic look, let's be honest. And Theo's like, not this dude again. I mean, you gotta remember, the first scene, when they saw each other, Theo was like, you again? And partly I was sitting there thinking, listen, I don't like this guy. I'm kind of not liking this guy, but he has a point. So I guess we'll just wait and see. Ben. I don't know about this guy. I really don't. But I'm not going to go on and on about that, because that's... Yeah, I'm just not going to. So Jan Spears is sitting there talking to Nicole, and she's like, oh, Bella, in jail. Crazy. And, Nicole has that look on her face like she wants no parts of her. I'm sitting there thinking, Nicole, why don't you just tell her to kick rocks and just continue to read the article? Which, I'm not going to lie, this is something that I do find really fascinating. If you look at a lot of different shows and soap operas and stuff like that, whenever they're reading something, they're not reading it on a newspaper anymore. If you notice that they're reading it on a tablet or on a phone or whatever, like the days of newspapers, and why is this so damn loud? The days of like newspapers, I always wondered that, even at my job sometimes, just like when I see people like buying the newspaper, I was like, I probably want to sit them like, is that a newspaper? I haven't seen one of those, and it just seems so like, why? But then again, I guess that has the whole thing with books. And anyway, so Nicole is reading her, tablet or whatever. And I'm sitting there thinking, Nicole, you're going to tell her to kick rocks, right? No, she doesn't. She sits there and entertains the idea of talking to Jan Spears. So they talk about Bella, they talk about Claire, they talk about Charlie. Now, at some point, because I'm not going to lie, I was kind of just like, why is this conversation continuing? Now, Jan Spears says something as far as when Nicole was like, you're obsessed with Sean, even though he's a married man. And then, Jan Spears was like, well, you're in love with Rafe, even though you're a married woman. And she was like, no, I'm not. And then Jan Spears walk away, and then, of course, you see, Nicole looking at Rafe on her tablet. And I'm just like, Nicole, this whole Eric thing was so much of a mess when he left. And I almost kind of want to blame, partly I really want to majorly blame Days and the writers for just how they made Greg feel on that show. I'm also sitting there thinking, listen, they also could have just recast. And now you're just left with a kind of a mess. I mean, this woman's husband is halfway around the world. They don't see each other. She's constantly disappointed every time they can't see each other. And she's getting closer and closer to Rafe by the day. Can they just get a divorce or just... you know what? Honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm just going to let that go. Because I have so many problems to just, open-ended stories, like with this and GH, and, I'm just not going to get into it. So, Rafe is sitting there talking to Ava. He's all excited because Hope is coming back from her, not her trip, but Sean was sitting there talking to, and this is the only way it's going to make sense. Sean is sitting there talking to Sierra, and they're talking about Hope and how, they finally got in touch with Hope, but she was caught up in some place, I'm not going to lie. Morocco, I think? I'm not too sure. She was caught up in Morocco, dealing with Vincent's men, but she finally escaped, or she got out of the jam, and now she knows that Sierra is alive and she's coming back, and that's pretty much where that ends off at. So Rafe is excited. He's excited for Hope to come back, and maybe they can have a chance at being a thing again, because when they tried it before, she couldn't do it because Sierra was missing, and so she wasn't ready to open her heart, knowing that her daughter's missing. So he's all excited and everything like that. He gets a call from Sierra's. First of all, Sierra's like, "Yeah, I'm leaving today for South Africa or whatever." So yeah. Also, Hope, I know she's supposed to come to Salem, but now she's gonna meet me in South Africa because it's just a lot easier. And it's not her fault, it's my fault. So yeah. Bye. So at this point, Rafe went from being happy and ecstatic, making food with Ava, to hearing this disappointing phone call. And he talks to Ava, and he's like, yo, I don't mean to sound petty or anything like that, but she couldn't call me or anything like that, and now she's just not going to be here. And not gonna lie, he was disappointed. He was disappointed with Hope. Even though he understood that it was for Sierra, he was still disappointed, So, Ava, gives him a hug and comforts him, and, Snitch saying that she's a fool, yada, yada, yada. And, of course, one thing leads to the next, and then they start making out. Not gonna lie, they didn't seem like they were, they didn't seem like they were acting kissing. They seemed like they were like legitimately kissing. Okay, I've watched soap operas since, what's the thing, say 2000. Okay, you watch a lot of different shows, a lot of different kissing scenes and stuff like that. You can always tell where it's like, okay, this is TV kissing, and this is this is damn near pornographic kissing. Like the scenes between Eli and Lonnie when they were having their lovemaking scene, it didn't seem like a soap opera lovemaking scene. It kind of seemed, I see a little kind of real. I'm just gonna sit there and say, so when you saw those two kiss, it was like, this seems kind of real, like not soap opera kissing. So now I'm sitting there thinking, because I saw the promo, by the way, and Nicole is upset that Ava kissed Rafe, and I'm just like, well, one, you're married, so, I mean, unless you're ready to divorce Eric, you don't really have room to talk. You just don't. And two, well, you way too late, so, boo-hoo, I don't really know what to sit there and tell you at this point. But yeah, Nicole's gonna be mad. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kinda gonna enjoy it a little bit. Listen, I know that she was siding with Allie and everything like that, but the way she kept coming at Trip, I'm not gonna lie, I can't let go. I'm kinda petty, alright? Kinda petty. I'm mostly petty. I'm somewhat petty. But honestly, to tell you the truth, it's not even so much as a Trip thing, it's just something about Nicole that I just kind of just like, Yeah, Sean does talk to Sierra, and Sierra pretty much like, listen, I'm leaving, I want to be safe, I want to get away from Ben, he is nuts, okay? And then, she talks about the fact that he tried to come at her with a syringe, twice, after sneaking in her, hospital room when she was asleep and trying to just stick her with a drug. So at this point, Sean is like, oh wow, I didn't know it was this bad. So I'm definitely going to sit there and talk to him. But at this point, see, I made up my mind, and, it is what it is. Now, honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm just kind of looking at this and just like, listen, when she leaves, at least I don't have to sit there and hear her whine and complain about how Ben Weston's a bad person and X, Y, and Z and yada, yada, yada. And it's like, after a while, it's like the whining, it's just like, I wish I had something stronger to sit there and actually have before I listen to her whine, because after a while, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just kind of over it. And listen, don't get me wrong. The whining is warranted. I mean, this dude is literally losing it. You know, he won't give her space. He keeps getting up in her face, and now this dude's into talking about he's going to sit there and kidnap her into trying to force her to remember their life together. Yeah, I would definitely sit there and say she has valid reasons to sit there and whine and complain, and even want to leave Salem. Which, by the way, she could just get a restraining order, but whatever. But I understand where she's coming from. It's kind of annoying sitting there listening to her whine, but I get it. Oh, and the last scene, which I was actually going to forget. It is, well, yeah, Bella talked to Claire, pretty much saying that she didn't kill Charlie, no matter what you heard in the paper, or the internet at this point, because let's be honest, who really that much actually reads newspapers? I'm not really trying to down people if you, like, read newspapers. It's like, I don't know, trying to ask people to used to have a VCR, so, but, you know, do you, whatever. So after that, Bella goes to, John and Marlena. Now, of course, John and Marlena sitting there talking about, well, John sits there and keeps sitting there saying that Bella did it, and she did it, and she did it, and, you know, even Marlena's like, did you see her face? So when Bella gets over there, sit there and just kind of reassure them that, you know, she's okay, they once again bring up the conversation, and ask him, John's like, yeah, she hypnotized me or whatever, and I saw you do it. I saw you kill Charlie. Now, Bella's like, did you see my face? And John's like, well, no, I didn't see her face, but, you know, same red coat. But you didn't see her face, so why are you still convinced that, I mean, this dude, here's the thing, it's not even like he sat there and said, well, I feel like you did it, I didn't see your face, but, it had to be you, or something. This dude just kept from the saying with, like, absolute doubt, like, nope, it was you. But they go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and they finally, well, Bella realizes that, you know, somebody framed me, somebody wanted you to think that I killed them. And then, you know, Bella's like, well, who would actually hate me this much? Dang, Jan Spears. Like, it just came to her like a bolt of lightning. So, and of course, you know, Jan kept sitting there talking about, and it's funny too, because Jan was sitting there talking to Nicole, and Jan was like, you know, I would have killed him myself. If I wasn't in that coma, you know, that coma that just, like, left me in a coma for so long. But, I would have done anything for Claire Bear. But, you know, the coma, and I'm just like, Jan, you're an idiot. Yeah, you're nuts, but you're also an idiot. You literally just told Nicole, man, I would have did it myself. Yeah, okay, that's... listen, Nicole already knows about your past and the fact that you recently held Bella at gunpoint to try to marry Sean, but you're just gonna get out of it by the old coma trick. But okay, sure. And then finally, Jan Spears sees Sean, because Jan is nuts at this point. You know, honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't feel bad for her. Yeah, she's a little weird, and sometimes she talks, I don't know, sometimes she talks kind of weird. Like, it's hard to sit there and describe it, but, like, just some of the phrases and the things that she uses sometimes is just, like, it just feels kind of weird, but, like, she's not terribly looking. Okay, she can find another man. She's not, you know, like, ugly or anything like that. Like, she's actually pretty. She, you know, like, get her in a good dress or whatever. Like, she look good, you know, but she's nuts. So it's, you know, that's kind of a problem right there. That's kind of a deal breaker. But yeah, she goes and she looks at Sean, and I'm just like, she goes to the police station, and I'm like, bro, maybe you should get a restraining order against her, because, like, I'm getting Lifetime vibe movies from her. Like, I can. And I think, let me just double check. Yep, more or less, I think that's about it. I think I'm actually done. So yes, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Be safe. Catch you in the next video.